All right, a little early, 30 seconds early, but let's just wait a bit. Let's start the weekly. Okay. All right. So good morning. Today is September 24th of 2024, and we're gonna go over the weekly outlook as well as the um, yesterday's price action as well as today's outlook. Um, so yesterday I did trade, uh, but I couldn't. Well, I couldn't stream because I had to do something. But I did trade, and yesterday I was expecting price to be very fluid, but it wasn't, as you can see within this consolidation here and this consolidation here. So again, I did trade, but I did not expect this. I expected price to be very fluid, to sweep highs and lows and then continue on with the trend, but that didn't happen obviously. So right after uh, morning outlook, I came in. I noticed that price had already swept. Oh, actually not this one. Right here, price had already swept buy side here on ES on NQ, as well as ES, and it had swept sell side here. You can't see it here on the 1 hour, but you can see it on the 15 minute. So once price did that, what I had expected, since it had already swept buy side on the 1 hour, I expected price to come down here and sweep, and that did not happen, obviously. Um, so because that did not happen, because price did not draw lower off the Asia and London, because that's what I expected. I expected Asia and London to sweep these lows, or even going into the New York Open. But because price did not sweep these lows, I expected the New York Open to come down and sweep these lows. So during the morning session, I was bearish. So I looked at these areas here. We had a 1 hour gap here. Price swept into that area here and here. And that also drew SMT, where price swept these highs up here, this high here, buy side taken, but these highs were not swept. So that was SMT with that. And then I caught a short from here to here. The only problem was I actually did not um, did not did not cover it, and I ended up covering. I think it was a couple of points below break even because I did not want to see price come back up here. If it did, then I knew we were gonna sweep these highs, and once we did, I began looking for an entry again after price swept sell side, then to sweep into buy side. So I got stopped in my initial entry. And I did not expect price to do this. This all of this is time distortion, meaning that we're just buying time right now. We're waiting for a low and high to get swept, and then for the trend to continue. So once price drew into here and stopped me back out, I began to look at these highs here, which were relatively equal, this high and this high here, and I wanted to see something up here because I knew that we were holding about 50% here. Well, actually, we did not trade into 50%. we almost traded into 50% right there. And so I began to look for something here. Price swept sell side here, and then I knew that price is going to go for buy side. Which high it was going to sweep, I did not know, but it ended up sweeping up here. So once price swept this high here during the 11 o'clock macro, yeah, it was during the 11 o'clock macro, or actually 12 o'clock macro. Once price swept that, but it did not sweep here, I was comfortable enough to actually get short at this order block here. But again, by this time I was not so comfortable, so I ended up just taking a paper trade where price drew into this order block up here, and as you can see, couple of ticks below, and I actually wanted to catch, and I actually ended up covering down here with the next couple of contracts being covered down here, and then ultimately down here, because I believe that price was going to continue to draw lower, but it did not. It reversed right after that, and as you can see, price did not do anything afterwards. Uh, so coming into the afternoon session, I had expected price to. What just happened here? Okay. I had expected price to after it swept these lows here, I had expected price to come back and sweep these highs here, and I began looking for an entry, found one right here at the 1 minute after price held above this order block here. Price came down, traded into here, and then drew higher. Again, another paper trade. Right. Okay, so this is the trade I actually wanted to take. That was going to be a real trade, right? So again, same as this, same concept as this one, where price did not sweep this low. That's SMT. But price did sweep this low here. The only problem was that I actually had my buy orders right here at 52.75, and I had my limit orders here, but I did not trigger. My stop was going to be right here at this low for about a 10 point stop, and obviously we did not get into that, did not get triggered. My cover was going to be up here, and that did not happen again. So again, yesterday was just crappy price action, um, but I believe this set up a pretty good trade for today. Today we do have news at 10 o'clock, which is consumer confidence, monthly consumer confidence. So we'll see how price reacts once once consumer confidence is released at 10 o'clock. That is high impact news, so I will be looking to take a trade. So my outlook for today, uh, I believe that we are going to trade lower into these areas here and then draw higher, because we took swap side, we took buy side the previous day, here, 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 and then here on the 15-minute. So I'm expecting today during Asia and London to maybe have consolidated, and then New York open, we sweep, and then we trade higher the rest of the day. That is scenario one. Scenario two is we swept during Asia, and then during London we began to draw higher. So during London, what I want to see is I want to see 50% of the range hold during a 15-minute, and then we see a double purge again going into London, going into New York Open, and then 10 or 11 or 10 likely, since that's when the new high impact news happened. We get the draw higher. The other thing I'm looking for is this 4-hour. So this 4-hour swept high, swept low here. So I would like for this low to get swept, New York week opening gap to hold, and then we draw higher. Same thing here, 4-hour swept high, low. This low gets swept, new week opening gap holds, and then we draw higher. If we drew higher going into the afternoon or going into the Asia London session, and we sweep these highs, then I might be tempted to get short if we haven't swept these lows. But the only way I'll short is if we get displacement. We have Asia London, sweeps of buy side. Of sell side first, then buy side. then I might be enticed to short up here. If we swept buy side and then sell side, then I'm not gonna take a trade. I don't feel comfortable getting long above in at a premium range, because everything above here is premium. Everything below here is discount. I would like ultimately I would like to see these lows get swept, but I don't think we do. I think we are generating liquidity going into the highs here. My objective for the week is that we do sweep buy side a previous month high, previous week high. Same thing here. I do expect price to draw into previous week high here as well, but we have to take enough south side. So I actually need to put this over here, because I think the most likely scenario is that we sweep this low and then we draw higher. Right there. Okay, so again, I would like for one of these lows to get swept. Um, but again, I might look for shorts up here. These are not relatively equal, I think. I don't see them as relatively equal, but again, I'm not sure. Uh, Honestly, I would not like to short up here. It'd be highly I'd be highly surprised if I did, but I would have to see a really good sweep, uh, uh, not sweep, displacement, or maybe an AMD pattern show up with 3 drives. But yeah, that's what I'll be looking for today. I will not short down here because we are still in bullish order flow. We are holding above this weekly order block right here, which tapped into it yesterday. I would like one more tap to see if maybe we get to draw higher afterwards. We did have that immediate rebalance I talked about last Friday, where we drew into the previous day high and then we drew higher. So again, this right here, this low is a protected low to me. If we sweep this low and we displace through it, then we might be looking at lower prices. Again, this to me is a protected low. I do not want to see this low get broken. If we do and we displace through it, then we will be looking at lower prices here. If we don't displace through it and we reverse, then I don't feel comfortable taking a long at that low. Uh, so what I'll be looking for is I'll be looking for violations of PD arrays to go into the second stage of distribution to catch that final move to break the highs. So let's go ahead and connect to data and see where we're at, and we'll go from there. But let's start on the weekly. I do not want to see higher prices. If we do, then it's going to be less attractive to me. All right, so we are drawing higher. Darn, I did not want to see that just yet. Yep, we are drawing higher. We are holding above this gap here. Well, actually, no, that's the gap that opened the weekly. Let's go to the daily. We swept previous day high. We swept previous day high. We did not sweep this low. We did not sweep this low. Okay. Yeah, I'd like this low swept at least if we're going to continue higher. That's what I see thus far on the daily. But again, I'll have to see. We'll have to see what price did overnight. So we have, and we are generating liquidity here. Again, we are generating liquidity, so I will expect price to draw higher, leaving that generated liquidity for us to sweep that liquidity going into, I guess you can say, November, December, and all that stuff. Previous day high, so I can go ahead and take this off, Previous day high, we swept. All-time high, we are again above the old all-time high. We can take this out. We do have relative equal lows here, so that's good. It's very attractive to me. This is also relatively equal. I will be watching to see how price traded here on the lower time frames. Same thing here. I want to see how price trades within this candle here. Okay, I'm not seeing anything else that I like. Right here, here, and right here. Okay, let's take a look at the 60-minute. Okay, so again, we have buy side taken, sell side has not been taken. And again, in order for me to get long, I want to see sell side get taken. So I will be looking here for an entry long. I don't believe these gaps hold. Price has already rebalanced pretty much all of it. Held above this order block here. Again, I want to see how price reacts here. If I am to get short, what I want to see is, I want to see one of these highs get taken, and then we get to draw lower. But if that happens, then that'll be on the 4-hour candle, where the 4-hour candle will probably sweep this low and then continue drawing lower. But I'm also mindful that the previous week high is the objective. So I will be very careful as to take a short here. If I end up missing that entry short, then I will look to enter at second stage of distribution down here, which is the best, which is the best likely entry. But again, I'm not. Actually, let's take this out. I don't need this anymore. I don't need this anymore. Actually, this one I still do need because it hasn't been broken. But it's been rebalanced through and through, so I'm not going to use it. We have generated liquidity here. I'm just trying to clean out my chart. New week opening gap tends to act as what's the word? Magnet for price. There you go. Yeah, so we do have relatively equal highs now. So I'm not sure. PSL, REH is right there. So at this point, I don't think these lows get swept here, but I do think this one gets swept because it does have relatively equal highs, relatively equal lows. These are relatively equal highs, so I do think these get swept. The best scenario for me would be if price immediately draws lower without sweeping these highs here. If that happens, then I'll be looking for a reversal here uh, to take price back up here. Again, if that happens, then that's the only way I'll trade it. Yep, that's the only way I'll trade it. Let's take a look at the 15-minute. So order flow is bullish. On the 15-minute, though, I do see a sign of continuation because we already swept buy side here, swept sell side here, draw into this breaker here. We held this breaker here as well. So right now, the market is drawing towards the high. So the objective right now are the highs up here, up here. So no trade for me. Yeah, no trade for me right now. The best entry was down here. If you are long, to cover up here and ultimately up here, here, cover into these areas here. But I'm not looking at the trade. I'm not looking to get in right now. I don't. There's just no structure for me. I mean, there is structure, and but the entry for that structure has already been missed. So I'm not looking. Now, let's say for some reason we do end up drawing towards these highs regardless, right off the opening bell. If that happens, then I'm not interested in trading. I will just leave it alone until later on going into the afternoon session. I don't see anything else that I like. I really don't like anything else. Because again, the 15 minutes is reacting off of this breaker here, which is a pretty good model actually. Since yesterday, we saw it buy side here, swept sell side here, drew higher, protected low, protected low. This is on the 15-minute. The 1 hour though, this is a protected low after we swept buy side. So we'll see. I I have no trade for now. I just want to see the reaction off the 0930 open. We're violating bearish PD arrays and respecting bullish PD arrays on the 15-minute. Since we closed above here, we are about to close above here. Just keep that in mind. I want to see how price closes above the 0930 open. I mean at the 0930 open. Let's take a look and see what the 5-minute tells me. Well, the 5-minute we do have a unicorn here. And we have a unicorn here. I might be tempted to take this one. That would be a 27.50 point stop loss. Yes, 4.5 point stop loss. Okay, so I think I'll do that. I think I'll take a trade here. But what I want to see is I want to see price close up here within the next 4 minutes. If we close up here, then I am going to take a shot here. And I want to see price come back into this here. Yep, definitely is. All right, I don't know why I'm not getting that. It's weird. All right. All right, so again, I do want to see price close up here, whether it's with ES or NQ. So I'm watching that. As soon as one of them happens, I will get long here, cover into here, and then ultimately into here. But again, 2 more minutes, and I'll take that trade. We are holding. We do have change in the state of delivery here, so that's why I'm mindful of that. I want to see this gap get violated. If it doesn't get violated, then no trade. $20.83. Let's make it smaller. Nope, right there. I want the gap to actually be down. Nope, I don't like that. Maybe up here. The fact that these gaps are not below consequent below consequent encroachment or 50% of this range, that's the only thing keeping me from looking to take a trade. So again, I want to see price close above this. I do not want to see price break below this breaker here. Let's get the orders ready. Again, I want to see price close above here. If it doesn't, 30 more seconds, then I'm not taking the trade. I think we might get it. Come on. So this gap is now all the way down here. Okay, so that didn't close. No trade idea. Now I want to see sell side get swept. Let's put this back here. Did not react the way I wanted it to. Come on, sell side. We are drawing relative equal highs here. I want to see this low get swept and then this breaker hold here. If that's the case, then I will be looking 7.25 points. Maybe we hold this gap here. So we'll see. Six to 76.50. If this low gets swept but this low doesn't, then that's SMT. This is a mitigation block. Mitigation block. Run stops. Run and stops. I think we are setting up for a 10 o'clock macro long. The only thing I don't want to see though is I don't want to see price consolidate here. I want to continue to see displacement all the way into this area here. And then we get the reversal. But if we're only going to draw into this area here, we might get the reversal here where we draw higher afterwards. Okay, so both ES and NQ drew into 50% of the range. I want to see ES or NQ break this low though. There we go. Let's see what price does here. ES is already down. Close below this area here. I want to see how this candle closes. Oh, I don't need this anymore. I'm gonna leave this one here because as you can see, this candle closed within the breaker still, but this one closed below it, so that's why this one I'm not using anymore. Two minutes till the candle closes. So what I want to see in the 5-minute is I want to see this candle close, down close candle. Then what I want to see is I want to see a run of this high into this imbalance here, draw lower, sweep of this imbalance here, because it doesn't look like we're going to come down here. Because right now at this time I'm looking at the 15-minute. And if the 1 hour is going to play out, then the displacement should have already happened, or who knows, may happen during the 10 o'clock macro. But we have about 45 seconds until this candle closes. Again, I want to see a run of the high, draw into this area here, and then see what happens. We are holding this breaker here. We respected the low and high of the breaker. Right. This is the high of the 5-minute right here. All right, we just closed that. This is the 4-hour low high. So I want to see a sweep of this high here. And then ultimately the sweep of this low here. Nope. Oh, not yet. Still works. All right, so I'm gonna take a shot here though. I did not want to see this happen just yet, but I want to take a shot here. And my stop is gonna be relatively tight. Oh no. Looks like my thing just froze. Jeez. I closed it before 9:30. I mean the 10 o'clock macro starts. Let's connect. See what it did. Did we already sweep that low? Yes, we did. All right. Darn, I just missed it. All right, I'm gonna wait until this candle closes. If it closes above this body, then I'm gonna jump in. It's a little too early, but that's fine. Right there. Okay, so I'm in. I'm gonna keep my stop here. I just don't want to risk it, especially since I'm outside of the macro times. Only because I do expect this to be the low. So we'll see. I actually wanted to get in down here. Unfortunate. I think I'm just building capital right now. So what I want to do is I want to cover up here. Yeah, right here. And ultimately I want to see this turn into an inversion. If not, then I'll just wait till the 10 o'clock macro. Okay, I do like how we're closing here though on the 5-minute. Swept. This is the 4-hour low. I want to see price put in a swing high, swing low on the 1-minute going into the 10 o'clock macro. Beautiful. If price just continues to draw higher after it sweeps this high here, then I will, yeah, I'll keep my stop here. But again, I want to see the 5-minute close first. Okay, yeah, see this I don't like. Because, alright, yep, I don't like. Alright, so I just took it off. What I want to see is now right here. Right there. It just needs more time. That's why I took it off. Okay, so again on NQ, same thing. Right there. So we got a swing high now. I want to see maybe relative equal lows get put in here. So I'm just watching for now. Did I make anything off of that one? Nope. Came out of break even. I just did not like how this candle came back. But what's telling is the fact that we have buy side now, sell side, right at this. So I do have confluence in both areas, and I have confluence on the 15-minute as well. Took out this sell side, buy side first. We took out sell side. Okay, good. So now this becomes what I want to see. can get rid of this and this. Excuse me. Okay, so it looks like we're drawing lower, which is fine. But what I do like is I do like the highs and lows it put on here. And one of these will, oh crap, I just noticed something here on the 15-minute. Right here. No, that's actually the 1 hour. Right here. I want to see where this candle closes on the 1 hour. Yeah, we have to close above here. Let me remove this. Is it this one right here? Yep, this one. And this is the low. Okay. Okay, so we do have a 1 hour here. But I want to see how this candle closes. We're about to sweep buy side. So nothing yet. But again, it all has to do with how the hourly closes. I just want to see NQ take buy side. But if we draw lower, then no entry. And we might see a 11 o'clock macro setup. We sub sell side already. I think we might see a short setup now. Because though I am looking to get long, I'm not seeing the signatures of a long setup. But what I am seeing is a signature for a short setup. Yeah, see. We have displacement. Right here. Yep, that's all I'm seeing. I'm not seeing anything else. Because we took out sell side here, buy side into 50% of the range, then we get to draw lower. If that's how this thing is going to happen, then yep, I'm gonna try it up here. Because when it comes to time is just not aligning with a long setup, but it is aligning with a short setup. And we have 5 more minutes until macro starts. Well, the macro already started, but I'm talking about the consumer confidence release. 5-minute setup here. Yep, this is the 5-minute gap here. Why do I have to fix this? I need to mess with the script a little bit. For some reason, my consequent encroachments aren't showing up on one of the windows. Is it showing up on this one? Yep, it is. All right, let's change this back into we do have a 3-drive pattern, but again, I'm not seeing price align with a bullish setup. Bearish setup right there. And we're just not we keep on taking buy side. I mean, we keep on taking sell side. So if anything, I will look to get short up here, then to target these lows, and then eventually this low over here. But I don't want to see it. Yeah, I don't want to see it. Break this low just yet. We're generating liquidity on both sides. Well, not on both sides. We're generating sell side liquidity, buy side liquidity, I mean. Okay, 1 more minute. If there's no entry here, if the price does not come into 50% of the range, then I'm not going to get in. Then that means we're just going to draw lower, and then I'll try and catch the long here. Let's get the orders ready. All right, so I do have an order. Well, it's not ready. I'm gonna market order in here, not here actually, up here at 80.50. Looks like we're not gonna get it. Darn. Okay, so the fact that none of these drew into 50% of the range tells me that price is really weak. So it should draw into the lows fairly quickly. Okay, I can take these out then. So we're just waiting. I will be watching this gap later on in the afternoon. So now I want to see how price reacts here. This to me is a protected low. I do not want to see price draw below it. I want to see price hold here. $90.66. I'm going to get in with two contracts here, whichever one breaks the low. It's a pretty wide stop, 63. It's about 100. Yeah, it's acceptable. We now have SMT at the lows. And what is this one giving me? 15 points. Come on. All right. Okay, well, we just swept those lows. Let's see how far lower we go. Here's where I want to see the reversal if it happens. If it doesn't, then no entry. We left a gap here. This is a balanced price range. Okay, so I'm in at, where did I get in? 50, 60. I want to see an immediate reversal. And I'll be pyramiding in. If I'm correct, then I don't expect price to draw lower from here. And I'm taking a micros, by the way. I'm not looking to take minis with this type of range. Kind of like how the 5 minute is about to close. Let's see how the 5-minute closes here. If we sweep this low, then I'll take it out because then we're most likely heading to this low here. It's still within the macro, so I would like an immediate reversal here. If it doesn't, then I'll just take it out. I don't want it to linger. Let's see, zoom into the 5-minute now. Right there. There we go. I just like how it's responding. All right, so now I want to see institutional order flow entry drill. And my take profit is going to be up here, so about 40 points. Let's take a look on NQ. I don't like how NQ is turning out. I would have liked to have price close above here already. All right, so here we have a candidate. If it breaks into this, I only want a tiny break into it and then the draw higher. Or it could just as well leave a breakaway gap open. Load breakaway gap here. Oh, and I did forget to mention on the daily. So the daily I like because we are stuck in a inside candle off of Sunday's price action. So Sunday, we did not break the high nor the low, but we did close within it. Same thing here. So when that happens, eventually price will have a move sort of like this one, a very impulsive move. And that's why I'm bullish. That's why I believe that we are going to close above all-time highs this week, or maybe even today. So we do have a breakaway gap here. I'm going to add another one. There you go. Okay, so I don't want price to come back in here. I want continuation, and that's it. We just violated this inversion here. We closed above consequent encroachment. Immediate rebalance maybe, but I don't want to see price come back into this area. If it does, then I'll just take it out. Come back later on, because oftentimes we will get that draw higher. Yeah, oftentimes we will get that draw higher as soon as the one of the candles draws into the previous high for an immediate rebalance, balancing price out, draws higher. So if price draws up to here, I don't want to see price consolidate here. I want to see a breakthrough, and then maybe later on come back and retest this area. And my objective is actually to cover one here, and then ultimately up to this area here. So the risk reward is worth it. I'm risking about 5 points to make 40 points. All right, so we just traded into that bag, and if price is still bullish, then it should no longer come back down here. It should immediately react right now. 15 minutes about to close. I like where the 15 minutes closing. Let's see how it's going to close. All right, so we just closed. All right, I want to see an immediate reaction. Oh, all right, so it looks like it's not going to happen until later on. I'm going to leave my stops. My stop is down here. One thing I'm mindful about is the fact that we have not really retraced back into 50% of this range, this whole range here. This is 50% of the range. So if I'm wrong, then since this is a protected low that I'm looking at, then this is the other 50% of the range we took out sell side. So we'll see. I'm still looking for price to hold here. If it doesn't, then I'll just wait until the afternoon session. All right, so we are getting some sort of draw higher now. But again, I don't want to see price stall. In moves like these, I want to see something like, yeah, something like this. All right, so I'm gonna call it there. No need. I don't want to stick around. I will. continue recording the screen, but um, that's it for today. Again, entry is here. I actually jumped into two more, so that's three contracts. Looking to risk 5 points to make 40. Uh, Going for these relative equal highs. So we'll see how these close going into the. I think this will be an all-day trade, as long as this low does not get broken. If it does, then that's my stop. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Tomorrow we'll see if this thing works out, or yeah, we'll see tomorrow if this thing works out. If it doesn't, then I've already accepted my stop. So I will leave that as is. But again, I am looking for price to draw higher from here. Uh, I do believe that this is protected low because we drew into 50% here. Here we drew into 50%. We have sell side liquidity, intraday afternoon low. Asia and London low have been taken. New week opening gap. So plenty of confluence here to see if we continue to draw higher from here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'll see you tomorrow.